well, this is it. This is Woodland version 5, or how is it called? And yeah, this is the strategical importance. Those 4 big patches of trees are very important because they are dividing the players, and they are going to supply some basically strict ways through, as if you don't really prepare for both sides, you could be potentially in threat from either the middle or from the normal side. So yeah, you need to be careful where your opponents are coming from. And looking at the position, we have Monaimon with Cambridge and the last one Tatoch on the left top side, whereas LoS are on the bottom right. Looking at the civilizations, we have Spanish, Mongol and Celts, well, from ByTs, whereas for LoS we have a bit of a difference. We have Huns, Mongol and Mayans, so they have recognized the importance of Mongols in here. The strongest players, Tatoch together with Safarao, aka Ryut, are having the strongest Civ, and I would be kind of thinking that they would be slung by someone, but I wouldn't really be sure by whom. Probably by Spanish and Mayans, that would be my guess. But looking at this game, I'm not exactly sure what to expect. We'll see what the strategies are for either of those teams. Gigante. Yeah, I saying there's a large wood in here. And yeah, it is a type of Oasis exactly, but a lot different one. So let's have a look around the map for the players in here. So far looking at the minimap, I don't see any kind of stealing, but potentially on the left there could be yet again, we see Safarao, Ryut fighting against Tatoch. That's like literally every map today, which is quite interesting and definitely pretty great to see. And you can see that Ryut was already attempting to steal this boar. He definitely wanted to do so, but well, unfortunately for him, Tatoch was paying attention and he is going to stop him from that. So yeah, nicely played by Tatoch and control. Yeah, it's already going for it just to be sure that it isn't stolen by some of the teammates of Ryut. Otherwise, nicely positioned gold stone. Get another gold with the other boar being at the back, and I'm kinda thinking that he doesn't know about it yet. No, he actually does, so he has gone for a very nice scouting, and well, he is so far doing a pretty good job with that. Yeah, they're going to be running around probably for all eternity, as obviously this is not going to be all that easy to stop unless they want to. So far they don't really seem to be signaling anything like that, but well, let's have a look at Ryut, and he seems to be having also pretty decent base. The boar in the forefront, potentially open for stealing, but looking how Tatoch should be the one stealing, and he's having fun chasing the boar, or rather chasing the scout, not anymore. Well, he will be going somewhere else. So Tatoch will be also going somewhere else with the boar pretty much being safe. I don't really expect it to be stolen anymore. And those extra gold mines and stone, well, this is very sweet map for Safarao, and he will be quite happy about what he's seeing right here. He will be probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he was actually trying to wall his opponent in right on his doorstep. Yeah, Safarao right now telling that he's against Mongol. Of course, it's going to be Mongol mirror on the left side, whereas on the right, it's going to be Miguel Zin as Han against Celts. I would be slightly favoring Miguel Zin as the Han, but not really convincingly because Celts obviously have pretty good lineup of infantry. So yeah, that could be something that he could be doing with it. But at the same time, looking how Celts are strongest in their siege weapons. Yeah, well, it might not be making all that much of a difference in the game, especially if he's going to be facing some paladins from the Han. Already walling coming in from Gach, so he's definitely thinking that he needs to wall in, which is exactly the correct strategy as from Age of Mythology. Yeah, I have basically advanced knowledge about this map, as this is kind of spawn that Oasis in Age of Mythology spawns like, and you definitely need to place exactly this wall, as you need to prevent raiding from the opponent pocket, and if your opponent doesn't wall up, he's basically opening himself for pretty nasty raiding right into the heart of his economy. So yeah, let's see if Monaimon will actually go for the wall-in as well. He definitely should, but so far not happening, but there's still plenty time before the players advance into Feudal Age and start raiding. Ryut will be the first one at just 18 villages. Kinda interesting. You can see that Tatoch is going for different strategy with just one extra villi. He's going to be advancing also fast, but not fast as Ryut, and Ryut is probably hoping that he can be slightly quicker into the next age after that into the castle. Yeah, you can also see the number of villages 20, 19, 20, 22, 18, 21. This is actually pretty interesting difference, and bonus for LoS, who seem to be having stronger games so far, which could be translating into a pretty big difference. the next minutes. So first rush is coming in from Miguelzin into red, and is red going to be prepared? Yes, he will, because he is preparing with Drash himself. So yeah, this is going to be pretty much 1v1 on the Drash here, so not anything that should be decided by anything else than just pure skill. Also Scout in here with Green Scout in returning, so absolutely the same, but with a bit of an advantage for Red actually, because he's having a villager in here, and Gach is also arriving on the battlefield, which could be making, yeah, kinda things equal, but looking how actually Green is playing this very nicely. He has already killed one of those militias, and he seems to be really microing this well, quite well, and he might be even killing this villager if he plays this correctly. Villager is having low, so she is kinda survivable. And one militia down, scout down. Oh, this militia is also pretty much dead. But it seems like that Blue is also arriving at the battle scene, and this is quite hefty battle at the very start of the game. And well, it's kinda convincingly for Miguelzin because he has survived with two militias, not really all that much survived, they're kinda half dead, but also with his scout, and there's also the Eagle Warrior from his ally Gach, so they have definitely won this battle. Quite nicely played, but at least the red player hasn't lost the villager, which is something that counts. And yeah, we finally see the Wallin also in the middle, and that's very important for Monaimon because right now they are advancing it through feudal ages as well. And yeah, you can see that Tatoch is taking his Wallin very seriously as well. He's going for a stone wall as soon as he could. And you can see that Safaro is actually not going for anything like that. He's just using his buildings yet again. He has basically been doing that every game so far, and it's working for him, so why not? And it is a quite efficient use of resources on any kind of map. So yeah, still a few battles brewing on the right side, but well, it should be probably it. Well, raided by Miguelzin, or he should be switching into some kind of other place, because obviously they are half dead and they will be very easily killed by any kind of villagers. Yeah, this is pretty much it, and Red should be finishing with Wallin without all that much of an opposition. But it's also noticing, important to notice, is that Safaro is joining onto the right side, which could be a bit of a surprise for ByTs, as they are definitely not counting with this. As yeah, this one scout from the blue player is not going to be enough. Wolfie aggroed on the villager. That's also a bit of an extra problem. And with right now Ryut arriving exactly at the battlefield and ganging on the poor villager. Well, yeah, she's not going to survive here. And this wolf is definitely unneeded help for Cambridge, or rather for Safara with Miguelzin, but it is counting, and it did do quite substantial damage extra. So that's 2 villages, 3 villages, I think that for the red. Maybe even 4. He was having about 4, I think, here. And that's pretty tragic for him, because he's right now advancing as the last player into feudal with just 25 villages, because he was having more, like 29, and well, this is a big problem. Very nicely played, and nice strategy from LoS, as he has seen that he cannot fight against his opponent, as he's very nicely walled, so he just switched the venues and went where there is something to kill. Very nicely played by Ryut, really well done, and big problems for the ByT teams. ByT team. So yeah, you can right now see that Tatoch is taking advantage of this momentum, of this moment where he's not facing any kind of opposition and trying to raid his opponents. But unfortunately for him, he's going all the wrong places. He's not finding any kind of villages at all, and he needs to go somewhere else. He was hoping there was somebody in here, but yeah, there isn't. And yellow villages are also quite tightly packed inside the base and also protected by those spearmen. So not any kind of luck with raiding, I would be guessing. I'll just turn off the chat yet again. I always forget to do it at the very start. And we see a bit of a radiant by yellow at the very top, stopping the Catherine by Cambridge. And yeah, he is right now definitely getting the shortest straw of this game. So very nicely played by LoS. We see also advances into castle by Gach, Miguelzin and Monaimon. So that's going to be 2 versus 1 in the castle age for LoS. With Wheelbarrow going for both Tatoch and Safaro, who will be basically just booming, as they will be playing, I think, the same strategy as the are Mongols, and we won't be seeing anything different from them. Double wall-in from Gach, with just single wall-in from Monaimon. Potentially could be going for stone wall when he's ready. But well, Ryut is still not giving up on the raiding in here, and well, so far he will be, or rather right now he will be, because Spearman is in, and even though he is not any kind of enemy to 4 scouts, it's still some extra damage, and also some extra damage from the DC. Nicely played by Cambridge, and if he can pull up some extra spearmen he already is sending him in. Together with the villagers, it should be more than enough. So yeah, let's see about that. He's targeting the correct one, but very nice kiting by the real, who was just trying to retreat with the scout. That was under aggro from the spikeman or the spearman, which meant that the spearman wasn't dealing any kind of damage at all. So yeah, it was a very nice little play. That's making quite a lot of difference actually. But let's have a look into the pocket of LoS, where Tatok is trying to make something like that happen also in Gach's base. So far not having any kind of luck, as yeah, Gach is happy with the stragglers around his TC. Gold is very nicely protected and there's not much else to kill. Just a few hunters, and maybe he can kill this one though. Oh yeah, good job. So that's at least one villager down, and he's denying the food gathering in here. But at the same time it's finished, so yeah, not really all that much of a problem as it could have been at the start. But he's doing a good job in here, trying to deny resources to Gach as much as he can. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be it, as those villies are having right now the advantage of the hill, and of course of numbers, which is much more important than that. Whereas in here we are just Miguelzin is right now finally ready with crossbowman, and he will be joining with the scout cavalry of Riot. But at the same time, the pocket Monaimon is also in the castle age, and he will be bumping out some knights, and he will be ready exactly for those crossbowmen. But looking at the numbers so far, if Miguelzin played this correctly, he should be winning the battle. But if reinforcements are coming in, which they definitely are, I'm kind of thinking that more will be trickling in just a moment. Yeah, he will be in a pretty good position to kill those archers very soon. But in the meantime, they have been able to kill some villagers and deny gold gathering, which is very important part of the game, as obviously the Celts will be having a bit of a problems with their echo. Right now advancing into Castle Age. Safaro going for Castle Age as well, together with Bloodlines. And he's also slowly but surely working on taking down the hit points from the stables and the house. Well, it's of course going to take quite some time, but it's better than just have them stand idle in his base, and this is very clever use of all the resources at his disposal. Yeah, very nicely played and very good idea. Purple is also switching from the pocket, and he was trying to find something extra to kill in Miguelzin's base. Not going to be all that successful it seems, because the TC is very nicely positioned, covering the gold basically fully. So he needs to switch somewhere back, and he could be having a bit of luck with this gold, but not for much longer, as once the castle is finished, that's pretty much going to be it. So Mayans go in for it, so that's going to be plumed archers for the raiding, whereas at the top we see the crossbowmen running into a bit of a problems, because they went a bit too far, and right now they are fighting against a pretty big number of knights, and even though Miguelzin is doing a pretty good job getting onto the hill in here. Very nice micro from him. He is going to be killed, but he is going to take as many knights with him as he can. So yeah, nice damage, and nice fight by Miguelzin. He's not going to mind all that much though. They are even still surviving, those two guys. So, oh well, they might be here for much longer than we actually anticipated at the start. And he seems to be taking it a bit back, a bit slower, as he will be probably thinking that he can advance into the next age sometime soon. Still a bit of a fighting of those guys, with Kamas being built or produced by Tatok. Building yet another town center. He's right now at 4 TCs. That's kinda greedy. With some scout cavalry at the back from Safaro trying to find some ways, but with 4 TCs for the purple player, whereas Riot is having just 3. Well, kinda thinking that Riot will be having slightly better up into the Imperial Age and slightly better push in the early game, but if somehow Tatok can survive it, he will be having stronger economy, of course, through more DCs, but really, usually it's kinda greedy if you are not the pocket and if you are under some heavy attack sometime soon, which seems to be happening in just a matter of moments. Yeah, you can already see the army being prepared by Yellow. He will be attempting to go to his opponent's base very soon. Safaro just now asking probably for some support by plumed archers. Looking at the release, we have Monaimon 48, 49, 61 Tatok Cambridge 39, whereas for LoS we have 50, 46, 42. Which means stronger economy for ByT, and that's basically the difference of the 4 TCs for Tatok. So let's see if that's going to be something long lasting or not, because in the early game, Cambridge definitely did lose the momentum with losing the villagers in there, and he's also still under pretty heavy attack, It's kinda annoying attack by Miguelzin, but also since Gach is joining in, this could be a bit more threatening than maybe Monaimon with Cambridge are thinking, and even though Cambridge is prepared right now with Mangonel, it still might not be enough. switch into Cambridge is he's building extras. So far not. So far it's just this one. But he could be finding those and potentially even killing them. Oh, but looking at the reinforcements from Miguel's, well, there's something coming in that actually neither blue or the red are expecting. And that will be a bit of a surprise in here. So let's see. This will be a pretty big battle. And if they can coordinate this and kill them with the Mangonel. Oh, come on, give me some nice shot. Ooh. Oh, nice maneuver. Nice maneuver by Miguelzin. Try to take down the Mangonel. Well, that's going to be killed very easily, just 3 hit points. So he just needs to close to it fast, but looking at how Cambridge is trying to repair it, he might be able to, because Green doesn't seem to be aggressive enough. But looking at the amount of archers, or other crossbowmen, he shouldn't really be all that much worried and just go full front, because he has seen that his opponents don't have enough army at all. So let's have a look on the left, where there's a bit of a more attack by Safaro, who is already having siege coming in, whereas Purple is not having anything at all. He's having just one camo, it seems like, at the very back. And that's pretty much it. And well, this could be a bit of a problem, as obviously there's already yeah, some kind of blockage of path for the Willies who are not retreating or rather returning enough wood. And with the extra support by blunt archers, this is a pretty strong attack and might be pretty dangerous for Tatok. And he might be paying actually for his greedy booming, as right now he is going to be losing quite a lot of economy that was there, built exactly because of the extra TC. So right now absolutely nothing, with just castle being finished. So maybe he's thinking about advancing into Imperial Age. Doesn't have the resources at all, so not. But he's probably hoping that he can build some Mangurais to get rid of the Mangonel and those siege rams, or rather battering rams. Siege rams are into the future, but well, it is costing him a TC, and I kind of think that it should be finished. And yeah, Yellow is not even interested in the TC right now. He's just interested in killing as many villagers as he can, and he's killing quite a ton of them, because he's right now dropping Tatok to just 76. You can see so many dead villies. Wow, it's actually a pretty huge number. That's 10 plus. That's about 10 plus villagers. About 10 plus villagers in here, and yeah, right now the Scorch is coming to the gold mines as well, or the stone mines as well, and it's a much bigger problem for the purple player, because obviously without stone he cannot build castles, and without castles Mongol doesn't have Mangurais. So yep, this is it. And the town center nicely built, but the strong push in here is probably not going to step all that easily. Bit of a friendly fire in here, try to kill the villager. But with the support right now from all those plumed archers, yeah, this seems to be pretty nice. And you can see that Tatok is already thinking about defense as he is building Mangurais inside his own castle. He doesn't have the resources though, as he's right now having quite a lot of idols without any kind of gathering of resources. Yet another castle trying to be built, and it could be built, because it doesn't seem like Riot is paying enough attention or really knowing that something like that could be happening. But right now he could be moving on the left. And he is. But he is not moving fast enough or far enough, because obviously knights are having just too little point of view, and right now he's discovering it, but exactly at the moment when the castle is finished. So it's a bit of a victory for Tatok, as he's going to be able to stop the onslaught of his opponent and protect his economy. Whereas on the right side there's not much happening, just a bit of raiding still by the crossbowmen absolutely everywhere, and yet again they are finding themselves in a pretty tough spot. Exactly the same one. Yeah, that's a bit of a graveyard of crossbowmen. Fortunately, Gach is not really paying attention, as he could be helping with the fight, but he's not interested, probably just trying to keep them safe at the very back. And so that he can go for some raiding once those guys are going somewhere else for potentially help at the bottom or something else. Well, Angora is trying to kill something. Probably should be killing this Mangonel together with the battering rams, but probably not going to be fast enough and effective enough, because this attack from Riot together with support by Gach is just too strong, and without any kind of support from his allies, I kinda think that Tatok won't be able to survive. And I'm curious why Blue isn't already there. He's right now just moving in, but it's going to be way too late. It's going to be at a moment where there's too much army from his opponents, and yeah, you can right now see Imperial Age from both Safaro and Miguelzin, and you can kinda guess where it's going to go from there. So the castle and the TC are still a pretty good defensive position, but if Tatoch wants to defend this, he will have to garrison some of those villas, which means pretty much no economy from him, from those. And well, looking at the amount of knights, well, let's just wait a moment. There's not enough reinforcements from LoS. And the amount of Conquerors is actually pretty big right now from Tatoch, and he could be doing quite a lot of damage with them because they are very strong. And if he receives some kind of support by Blue, who is still not doing anything, he just maybe trying to find some kind of raiders, those plumed archers, but I'm really perplexed totally why he isn't helping his ally at the bottom. Maybe Tatoch told him that he doesn't need help, but I kind of think that he needs. And if he did receive help a lot earlier, he definitely could have dealt with the attack much sooner, and he could have been on his way into Imperial Age and also in a much better shape than he's right now, but he's still in a pretty nice one, having 112 villages, which is the most. Well, the same with Miguel's pretty much. It seems like that the economies are more or less equal, with Safaro having a bit more than Cambridge, but that's kind of marginal, not really anything substantial. But with him right now advancing into offensive with also buildings and building a castle at a pretty crucial spot, he will be having free way into opponent's base, and of course this is going to mean that the castle, together with Siege Workshop and also those TCs, are going to be under fire very soon. And since all the food economy and gold economy is here as well, this is very bad placement for, or rather very bad moment for Tatoch, as he will be closed and basically against the wall, and he doesn't have anywhere to run from here if players play this correctly. Blue is finally arriving with his knights, going into Imperial Age for Cavaliers, but Miguelzin is going to be slightly faster, and he's going for a plate Bardin armor as well, so he will be attempting to go for offensive very soon on the right side as well. So castle being built by Mayangach, as he is definitely going for full-on double on the left, as I kind of think this is the correct decision, because Tatoch is the strongest player from ByT, and if they can neutralize him, they will be, yeah, one step closer to calling this game a victory. So on the right, see a sling from Cambridge into Tatoch, of course. On the right side, we see a bit of a double wall from red, and yeah, we can already see that Miguelzin is preparing with some extra siege workshops and a castle, and he will be going through the walls sometime soon once he advances, which he already did, and once he has the paladins that he needs. So castle under attack from trebuchets, which there is absolutely no counter from Tatoch or any kind of other ByT like Monaimon, who should be helping him, but he's still waiting for the correct moment. And of course the Cavaliers right now being researched, if you have a look on the right side, together with plate Bardin armor, and Tatoch is also going into Imperial, so that could be making a whole lot of difference. But looking how Safaro is Imperial Age for quite some time longer, yeah, he will be having an upper hand without any kind of doubt. So trebuchet is just wrecking absolutely everything, and right now it's going to be up to Monaimon if he can somehow substantially help his ally, if or not. Tatoch is definitely not giving up, as he's building yet another castle on the hill, capturing or rather guarding the stone. That is going to be very crucial for his next game, but he's also having pretty decent amount of mango dice together with mangonels, and this could be strong enough for him to hold on for a bit longer. The armies from LoS are not strong enough really to be any kind of convincing win, but at the same time they are strong enough because they are able to keep the trebuchets from any kind of attack from their opponents, and this is exactly what is needed, as with their huge range they are wrecking the buildings of his opponents. Big idols by Cambridge and Tatoch in there, you can see, as there are also stables being built in Monaimon's base, as he's right now preparing to actually go for it, as he's expecting Miguelzin to go for some full-on attack very soon as well. Going for Siege Ram Caravan Paladin, Iron Casting, so he is preparing also with a trade route in here. And well, is he actually going for the left side? He actually is. Well, that's a bit of a surprise. He isn't actually going for the right, as he is kind of thinking that Cambridge is not going anywhere either, which means that he's just going to fake this attack. Yeah, this is just a fake and distraction. Whereas, on the left he's going to be a pretty big surprise with those paladins of his. And well, this is nicely played and nice strategy from LoS. Yeah, pretty nice fun, with already paladins in, and yes, just blast furnace and paladins being researched for Monaimon. So Monaimon will be far behind. But with onagers from the teal player, or rather purple player, if he can land some pretty good shots into those mangorais, and especially the plumed archers, he will be in a pretty good spot to potentially even defend. But looking at this castle spam by LoS, this is going to be quite hard for them. It is going to be quite hard for them, and let's see if they can survive. But we already see the army being prepared by Monemon and Tato, just waiting for the correct moment. And well, that's actually quite a lot of onagers. And they are going to be siege onagers with chemistry sometime soon. With drill and conscription also being researched for faster unit creation of the castles. And well, this is still far from over, because obviously there's going to be a big battle, and if Tato can land some pretty good shots with the onagers, well, this could be making quite a lot of difference and could be turning the battle around. But they are also... Yeah, Miguel's just now saying that he's slinging, probably, which is of course true, as he's building the extra walls, which is basically just giving up what is happening on the map. And well, this means that this attack is not going to be all that strong from Miguel Zinas. Of course, if it was a distraction, but it might be coming back to bite him because he isn't prepared on this height. With Monaimon coming in, well, very nicely placed stable just at the last moment, but with the stables already being placed, it's not going to be making all that much of a difference, as Miguel Zin is paying much more attention, or rather enough attention for everything. In the middle, there are actually some extra mines that are so far being captured by Gach and his opponent in the pocket Monaimon. Monaimon going for a castle, but he might be a bit too slow because there's a lot of release coming from Miguelzin, who is trying to take the gold. Let's switch into Miguelzin's point of view if he's actually seen the castle. And he is, right now he is, it's exactly on the line in here, and well, he needs to be careful because this is not going to be anything nice for him. He's probably not paying attention, as he's not retreating. He's right now probably looking at the big battle on the left. It's just happening, or are they going to happen in here very soon? And well, siege onagers are just waiting for the right moment to pounce. They'll be interested in landing some pretty good shots into those trebuchets in here. And of course also the plumed archers, but yeah, you can see that Gach is actually using spread formation, which is something you don't see all that often, and same is true for Miguelzin. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting to see, and really, you don't see that all that often. Usually you see everybody stacked up, but they are very well aware of all those siege onagers waiting for the right moment to attack. So we are having a bit of a pause. Let's have a look around the map. With Gach going for banking, so he will be full-time slinging. Let's see if somebody's already slinging. Cambridge is slinging strongly. We knew about that into Tatoch, whereas Miguelzin slung a bit to Safaro. That was probably for advance into Imperial Age, faster advance. But in here, in the middle, you can finally see that Miguelzin has noticed, and he is running away, as this castle is going to be finished. And that might be a pretty important part, because those gold mines will be important in here, as trade routes are still not settled, or not really established all that much. And there's not really all that many trade cards in here, just a few of them. Same would be said about the opponents. Yeah, they're just having a few. Whereas in the green base we have seen a bit of dead paladins from the blue player, and yeah, these were the 5 or whatever was the number that were actually getting through, getting in this trebuchet and some extra siege. In here on the left we are just waiting for the hell to break loose. Siege workshop yet another being built, with castle also being dropped by yellow player, so he's going to be having quite a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 castles. That's pretty decent for a Mongol. You might be thinking about some extras. And of course, extra castles from Mukach will be allowing him to pump out as many plumed archers as he wants. Looking at the release, for example, in the meantime we have 121, 114, 135 for ByT, whereas LoS are having 144, 109, 117, which is pretty much equal in numbers. Just Miguelzin is having a pretty beastly echo, as he definitely needs to, since he's building a lot of paladins. And he's also switching into Mangonels. So is that going to be some kind of measures from him? Well, I would be maybe expecting them a bit more from Safaro, of course, as he is the Mongol. Exactly as Tatok is building his. Yeah, let's see about that. But also, I'm kind of interested where Blue is having most of his army. He's building a siege workshop, so he's interested in going for, I kind of think, for bombards. This is going to be for bombards because it wouldn't make any sense for him going for, on edges or whatever when he's playing with South Cambridge. So it's going to be for bombards to defend against onagers and whatnot that's coming his way. basically stalemate in the right side, and this will allow him to concentrate on the left and have all the paladins in here, but so far they are not really in enough numbers. Oh, he's having a lot of idols in here. He should be having gathering points just about here maybe, next to Tatok, because he will definitely be needing all of them in the battle that is going to come. Quite unsafe gold gathering, of course. And then actually some gold mines at the very back that could be helping them, but unfortunately they are not really paying attention to them. Let's switch into, for example, Marimon. 4. Knows about 1. With Cambridge, about none. He's actually not having cartography. He's actually really not having cartography, so he's kinda oblivious what's happening in here. It's kinda understandable, but at the same time it's so cheap that he could be using it for the knowledge of some extra mines that could be helping him in the next game, but well, it's not really all that needed since his task in the game is to slink. And we are waiting for the boss to actually end. The map is called Woodland version 5. So I'm going to check into the game room, what's up, if it's really going to be some pause. I'm not receiving any kind of messages, so I kinda guess so. Yeah, everybody is still into the game. So we are just waiting for somebody to get it back, as it was a really long evening. And very, very intensive fights in all 4 games so far. So let's see if LoS can actually close this up. They are leading on the score quite substantially, but that's because they were having pretty nice kills in here on the left, but it might not really be all that deciding, as with Monaimon in place. Could be slightly different, but at the same time, Miguelsen is going to be pretty nasty surprise with all his production on the left of Paladins, and this could be the thing that will decide the battle overall, because this is going to be pretty strong triple against just a double. It will all depend on the fact if Tato can land some very good shots with the on edges. If he can't micro them properly, this will be a very, very fast battle, I'm kinda thinking. And here we have an unpause. And here we go. So, Sichuan edges can then land some good shots, but first one didn't. First one didn't and just died without anything. So let's see. Town center will be down just about now. And well, we already see some extra shots from the right as well. And those fast ones just, yeah, they are pretty nasty from Mongols. And let's see. Can shoot some bad here. That's a lot of extra damage to be dealt, but nice shot indeed. But he needs to position himself correctly, because right now he isn't. Oh well, he isn't most definitely, because right now it seems like the Safarov basically out-microed him very nicely. He has just killed half of those siege managers, and he's having just a few left in here. And right now this is the big battle that we were waiting for, but unfortunately for LoS, Gach wasn't joining fast enough, so it was a 2v2 for quite some time. But right now he's coming in, but good shot. Good shot, and yet another one. Oh wow! Gach is losing absolutely everything in there to these Sichuan shots, and that was exactly what I was talking about. How it's going to be important for Tatok to actually manage them correctly, and then he did. He did, and he basically eliminated one of his opponents just like that. And well, it was quite deadly. He's right now going to kill those trebuchets without any kind of problem, and he is in a pretty good spot to go into an offensive, because you can see that Blue Army hasn't lost really all that many units. Osmonemon is still having quite a lot of paladins. Whereas in here we are just waiting yet another moment for some better shot, and yeah, this is kind of for a bit of a fun. This Mangonel is going to be leveled quite badly, and yeah, this is just waiting for the disaster for him to happen. Poor Mangonel against Imperial Age Mangurais, and well, that definitely didn't go all that well for him. But we also should be seeing what is happening in here. That's kinda interesting, as Miguelsen is gathering wood right on the doorstep of the red player. So he's maybe thinking that he can actually get through the wood line in here and surprise his opponent right into the middle of his economy. And that could be something that will be making a lot of difference if he can actually make that happen. On the right, he's not going anywhere, of course. as he's not even preparing. But he is still having quite a lot of army on the left, and well, he needs to be pushing absolutely everything in here. So far the battle, it seems to be pretty much okay for ByTs, even though they are facing quite big numbers of their opponents, but there is not really any kind of good battlefield, and they seem to be having a bit of a problems, LoS, of coordinating their attacks. So far, yeah, they're moving in some different directions all the time. In the middle, there's also a bit of a problem. As you can see, that Monaimon is basically capturing the middle with double castles and trebuchet, and also killing the castle that has been attempted by Gach, and it's not going to be built in here, and he is capturing the stone, which is very important as he could be sending it to his ally Tatoch, which will definitely benefit from extra castles as Mongol. So the game is continuing in a very nice pace. Oh, two plume archers in here. I'm kinda thinking that they are here from the very early raiding for like already 25 minutes in here. Just waiting. Just waiting at the back, going for the kill when they are ready. And well, yeah, they will be right now going into the middle of the trade route, trying to kill as many trade cards as they can. So this is a bit of a problem for ByT, as they will be losing the trade. Whereas on the left side we see not much really happening, just another castle being built by Tatoch, which is basically meaning that they are stabilizing in here, and siege workshops, as many of them as we can see, is going to be allowing Tatoch to pump out as many siege onagers as he can, and well, big army waiting for him, but if he can land extra shots like he did in the first big battle and kill a huge amount of plumed archers by Gach, he will be basically turning the battle into 2v2. Yeah, I think this is just making sure that Gach is paying attention on the plumed archers as yet another attack is coming in, as they are having trebuchets already. Oh, good shot! Good shot by Safara, who is just taken out two by one. This was a good shot by Tatoch, but this is going to be nice. Yeah, sweet one, sweet one, sweet one by Ryut, and this is exactly how it's done. So two pretty expert players right now shooting at each other with onagers, and that's definitely something that you want to see in top level games like these. So the battlefield is right now switching under the castle, as finally Miguelzen is sending enough units in to basically warrant some full-on assault. But do they have some kind of trebuchets? They do. Safaro is having at least 3 of them, and with not enough onagers on the left side, it basically means that those onagers from Safaro can kill the castle without all that much of a problem, and he's paying enough attention on Tatoch's siege workshops. Let's just switch into Tatoch. Yeah, he's building them in here, and well, when is he going to deploy them and use them? Let's see if he's paying attention. He's with this one. Yeah, he's going to the back. Okay, so he's taking this carefully. He wasn't able to finish with this one. That was like 95% done. But, well, wasn't enough. And yeah, right now you can see that finally, at 50 minutes, Monaimon is building stables right on the battlefield, which is something that should have been happening a lot earlier. Because obviously, he was having a long time of going with the reinforcements in, and that might have been basically the reason why LoS are right now advancing. But with the buildings being finished, if they will be finished because they are under raiding from Miguelzen, they will be right now just in the battlefield and could be strong enough to go and help his ally Tatoch in here. So right now it seems to be switching slightly into LoS favor. Also on the right side there's not much happening. I'm just going to check there sometime soon, once we see if actually Tatoch can kill those trebuchets. Oh wow, that was a nice last shot from the dead onager, so good job, very nicely played. And well, definitely right now LoS have to take this a bit more carefully. Yet another castle being dropped by Ryut, whereas in the middle you see a bit of a walling by Safaro, but it's not really finished, and he is potentially open to abuse by the blue player, who is in the middle trying to make something happen, together with also Red, who seems to be stopping with the slinging, and will be switching into quite a lot of extra, probably halberdiers with some siege, and will be attempting to go into the middle of their opponents, quite probably. Yes, Gach is already trying to prepare for it, it seems, moving the villages in. But well, he should be quite fast, because the situation could be quite dire very soon. On the left, it seems to be quite slow going for LoS. Not really fast enough to warrant any kind of GG from from ByT at all. But they also need to be careful because they are fighting damn close to the trade route, and once those castles are down and somehow LoS break through, they will be in a pretty good position to stop the trading, and that would be pretty much it for the whole game. Let's see Right now having the castle to protect those trebuchets, as not enough siege managers are coming in, but right now there will be. Or will they be? Right now send back. They are kinda thinking that they can sacrifice this castle and wait for a bit better moment, but well, it might not be. It might not be good enough, so let's wait for this. Nice shot. Oh well. He's trying to hit something, and right now he could be, or will he be? No, it was just behind. So yeah, he didn't really do well enough, and right now those two guys will be hoping that he can land some shots onto those trebuchets. So can they? Well, he's probably going to kill this one. Not even, but he is definitely closing on his opponent, and with all those paladins coming in that are going to be basically the brunt and the tanking unit in here, absorbing a lot of damage from those archers and mangudais, this could be a pretty good spot for ByT to actually go into the offensive. So yeah, there's a bit of a battle in here, and we're going to switch into the middle as well, as there's something important happening, as yeah, we have seen a bit of a green, or at least I have seen on the minimap, in the red's power base. So this battle is basically comfortably for LoS so far, so let's have a quick look in there. So nicely played by ByTs, and they could be surprising their opponent still. On the left, the battle seems to be slowly going for LoS, but I really think a bit too slowly. But at the same time, they are right now through to the trade route, and if they can basically camp some kind of mangudais in the trade route, which is exactly what is happening by route, this might be pretty much it. So not even the strong attack through the middle might be enough. So yeah, we are killing quite a lot of trade cards in here. So it seems like that they are basically camped in there, with mangudais not really coming in strong numbers by Tato. Whereas in the middle, there's a pretty strong attack, pretty much it. So not even the strong attack through the middle might be enough. So yeah, we are killing quite a lot of trade cards in here. So it seems like that they are basically camped in there, with mangudais not really coming in strong numbers by Tato. Whereas in the middle, there's a pretty strong attempt by Moneymon together with Cambridge to basically go into the middle, into the heart of their opponents, and it could be good enough, but really this is going to be about speed, if they can be fast enough or not. Already a bit of raiding by halberdiers, at least into the economy, which is of course not going to be stopped all that much by Miguel's and by just paladins. But well, on the left, the battle is nicely going for Lords of Schools, and they are definitely reaching for the victory on this game, number 4, and the match overall. So can ByT somehow turn this game around, or turn this game around? Yeah, turn this game around, because they are so far not winning on the left, and the left seems to be much more important than the middle in here, because once the left is taken, it is done. Already pretty much is, yeah, you can see that. And they should be rebuilding somewhere else with the markets, but so far they're really not. They are building in here, a castle and markets in here. So they are thinking that they can stop their opponents about here and push through the middle faster than they can actually somehow lose on the left. So this is a pretty strong push by Gach together with Safarao, with a bit of Miguel's in, but yeah, here we see the GG's, and it's not going to be fast enough in the middle, because Gach is doing a pretty good job defending, and yeah, GG is called from Tato and Cambridge, and Moneymon will finish pretty soon. And yeah, this was a very nice game, and a very great match overall. But LoS, the reigning champions, are advancing into the grand finals for the second time in a row, and well, nicely done, as they are winning 3-1 in the semifinals against Viras Etapas. But damn well played by the newcomers into the league. Really nicely done, and nice strategies by them in all 4 games. Well, quite nice indeed. So let's have a look at the achievements. Right now, Ryut being the MVP, well, he was having a pretty strong game against Tatoch. He was the one pushing the advantage in there. And the difference could really be the greedy boom by Tatoch for 4 TCs, whereas Safado went for just 3, which allowed him to actually go for faster attack, and that made a whole lot of difference, because he just basically steamrolled Tatoch in the very early game, which put him on a back foot. And even though Tatoch was able to come back quite strongly, the initial push was just there, and the dent in the armor of ByT just couldn't be repaired with time. So yeah, nicely played. Different strategies decided in the game. Alright, potentially. Yeah, you're welcome for the casting. I was glad to cast these games as they were pretty great, and we will be seeing some extra games next week with yet another semi-final, of course, the second one between CZ Clan and NC New Chapter. So let's finish with the post game in here. Yeah, strong sling by game bridge, unfortunately wasn't enough. Tatok yet again, and it's basically the theme of this game and last one as well. Tatok was receiving basically double sling than his opponents, and it still wasn't enough. And it basically comes down to better strategy from LoS and better civilization picks. Yep, that's exactly what decides these high-level games. Here you can see the big army from Safarao, much faster than his opponent Tatok, who was having built an army just here, just way too late, and that was the difference in the TCs in here. So, GG.